Okay. Boy, that is all right. Okay, incredibly annoying, but whatever. Spilt milk and all that good stuff. Either way, I will have this for video will pop up. You can watch this. So this is part 2. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Stream got messed up, but I'm not gonna. I don't harp on things, so all good. Whatever. All right. So reset. What am I looking at? So deals. So I was saying for these deals, yeah, no good. Low to play. Low spender. Free to play. I'm gonna say negative. Mid spender, I would say yes. I know. Sorry, Bader. I don't know. Whatever. Seggy, that's my man. How are you, brother? Okay. I'm gonna just take this, and I would say for mid spender, yes. I don't know. Maybe for mid spender, like it depends what your budget is. Mid spender, if you're more like in the 200 range, like mid spender, then yeah, probably. You're okay. Like, you could fill out that gear, but there's better ways to spend your money, even if your budget is 200, to be honest with you. I could spend that. If I had your account, I wouldn't be spending money on ore. Let's put it that way. If it was me and I was a mid-spender, I would not be spending my money on ore. When you can use that $200 towards Bullseye or Glittering event or mobilization event where, you know, yeah, I wouldn't be doing it. Now, here's what I will say. The only week that's the only Bullseye event is my favorite event. The rewards that we talked about last week are bogus. They're terrible for spending your money. This is the only week that's actually worthwhile to spend your money that the game gives back to you. I mean, just for what I spent already, I'm already into prints for me. So for me, if you're going to spend money, if you're a high spender, this is where you want to go. Even for a low spender, if you're spending and you can get any of these rewards that you could double your money for your budget, for you're budgeting out money, you can still get like a bonus of shards as you're spending your money. You know, like here's like $50, $100. For $100, if you're spending $100, you would already get 40 exclusive shards, which is awesome because when you think about it, it's $5 every day, right? So that's $20 right there that they're giving you just for these. Then you get some skill medals. Everybody loves skill medals. They're good. This and the only reason why I bring it up because this is just bonus. You know, I'm spending it anyway, buying all the stuff the game gives back to you. This is just kind of like worth it, like for the week to spend your money and budget it out. So just take it for what it's worth. But this is the only event week that it's worth it where the game gives you anything. A lot of the other nonsense they give you is just not worth your money. And then you get into here, and then we're going to get into the mobilization tickets. And I do love this week. Okay, so that's it for spending right now. Tomorrow, the reason why we'll run a live tomorrow too, and we'll go through the mobilization because that's really good stuff. Okay. Let's see what we want to do for this. I want to do just a couple things here to spend my points for versus. I need data. I can get that in the Alliance store, and then I think we also are going to get. Okay, I think we're also going to get some chip chest stuff. So we'll run that. I'll be buying this and buying this and then buying this to here at least for now. And then let's just see what we get for chip chests. Did we get anything worthwhile? Let's go take a look at chip chests. These are garbage. We know we're not going to get anything out of those. Blue's good. Might get a gold. Nope, we got 70 material. Purples. And then we got two missile and air, which is exactly what I want. Missile and air. So, good. That works out for me. Two things. And then plus I have another one that I can use. Okay. So, before I do let you go for this evening, I wanted to get into some squad formation stuff we were talking about last time. And was definitely worth discussing. So one of the videos I will have coming out is going to be kind of just talking through a validation video. Which I know I heard some of your feedback. I know some of you are like, well, you running tests is not apples to apples on everybody else running tests, and because your deco and different things throws the tests off, and your wall of honor and, different things. And I've seen that, I've heard it from what you said, and I ran some tests, and it's just, to me, it's like the tests that we've run with a low spender and a mid spender. So I took a low spender's account and a mid spender's account and essentially did the same exact thing that we run the tests in our Operation Sandbox, and they came out with the same exact results. So granted, they varied, like who I'm going against and who they're going against is different, and they didn't have 4 mythics. I used 4 mythics. But in regards to where they put the gear, like when they put it on defense and we ran the tests, they still had a percentage jump that was the highest. And when they put it on Diva and ran her tests, where it was, I think it was the highest one was with Diva with the gun and the chip, and Carly and Lucius were with radar. That was the second best. They weren't far apart in the testing. So the results of what was the best that popped off was the same, regardless of the fact that I had my deco is much larger and my deco's Hall of Fame or Wall of Fame is much bigger. Wall of Honor. So listen, I don't know. Like you're going to be skeptical. Some people are just going to be skeptical. You're not going to like it. What I will tell you is, to me personally, the game is giving us data. The game is giving us reports that you're just clicking through and you're ignoring. You're seeing these points. They're showing you the data points of how these things run. They're showing you what happens in every single battle. Granted, you got to run, a lot of battles to get the average for different scenarios of highs and lows and the mediums and whatever. But for me, there's a mathematical equation as far as this game goes from a strategic standpoint of where your squad should be the best and from a formation perspective, and where it is when you're battling against tank, whether you're air against tank, you're air against air, you're air against missile, where should your squads be, what should they look like from the mathematical equation, your odds. We're playing the odds anyway, right? Like it's all, even the people that don't want to look at the actual numbers, and you're just playing a guessing game anyway, you're just saying, oh, the odds are 25% reduction of critical hits, and it's 25% more likely I get a critical hit, and it's 20% more likely that I get a stun from Skylar, whatever. You're doing the same thing. You're just going based off percentages and odds, and I'm going off actual mathematical data the game is giving you. That's what I'm going to go off of. So from my perspective, that's what I'm going to do. I am going to just pull the test together. So I'm just here to tell you I'm going to come out with a little validation video. Some of you may look at it and go, and still be skeptics and not like it. And there's nothing I can do about that. I'm certainly might not be able to turn your tide ever, and it might not be for you as we move forward with these squad videos and with this Operation Sandbox for everything that we're doing. But I'm really just going to focus at this point on taking that into consideration of what you said, ran the tests. I proved it to me enough that I feel like they're valid, and I'm going to continue to run with them. And those that are seeking value from it, awesome. You will get it. I will continue to run hundreds and hundreds of squad formation videos and put people where they're coming out, and I see the mathematical equations. I'm going to run where it's best to put gear first. based on the numbers and actual data the game is giving us as feedback, rather than just playing this guessing game where, Fred in my alliance said that the shield was best, and Johnny told me that the chip would. No, I'm just going to show you based on actual data the game gives you, running all over the tests, the actual figures, the numbers, charted out, where we should be putting our gear here and there based on those facts and figures that we're running. And then that's just what I'm going to run. And you find value in it, you'll like watching it. So tonight, what I wanted to bring up was, and I sent, let me see if I can find it. I thought I sent it over here, but maybe I don't have it. It's weird. Oh, got it. Sheesh. It's like, man, it's going to be a tough night. Let me just open this up here. I did, I've been running these tests, so as I told you, just a little insight, I had knee surgery, so I've been down and out, like keeping my leg elevated, so I run a lot of this stuff off of my laptop, and when I'm charting a lot of these things, and so what I did was ran some of this stuff, and then I wanted to send it to here, so then we could look at it and run it tonight on some of these things that we're doing. Let me just get this going here. And 1 second. All right. So one of the questions that came in, we'll run some tests on, is Sarah. Sarah in our air unit. So now that 3v3 is over and the arena's going, I don't really care necessarily for the arena. I will make my way back up into the wherever I am in the arena. I don't need to remove it from. Oh, I might want this in case we want to put some. Just some mythics on. I'll grab some mythics just to have them readily available in case we want to test with those. And then let me pull my gear off of air. And what we're going to do is we're going to run a test with, we'll run a couple sample tests with Morrison. And then what we'll do is we'll have Sarah replace Morrison to see what the battle reports say. So what I'll do is I'll run with no gear with Sarah. Let's see, what do we got? Do we have anybody else? Air, no. And then Morrison. There's Morrison and Sarah. So Sarah's been maxed out based on our last Thursday. I maxed out Sarah for PvP, not for Monster, for using... I'll do that for World Boss. That'll be this week. I'll max her out. So I did max out her skills here, which is the damage for PvP. And we're going to get now... showing you Skylar. Hold on. Sarah. Sarah's skills. So I maxed out Sarah's skills here. And now we have equal of the attack and increase the attack of all aircraft heroes by 15%. So she's essentially going to buff the team for us, okay? So I could raise her attack up, but her attack I don't really think is going to make much of a difference when we dive into it. Okay, so we're going to do that. Upgraded today to 550, but still I'm unable to get digs below 10 seconds. Any idea why? No, I could. Somebody commented, Deathwolf, about the delay in the game or running the game in like a high resolution mode or something like that where there's no break. I'd have to look at the settings. Maybe go into your settings and see if somewhere in here they said something about high resolution mode, but I don't know where. Oh, right here, performance settings, power saving mode. So if you have that on, I think that's what they were talking about. Make sure that that's not on, because I think they said they saw delays happening when that was on. I don't know. Other than that, I'm not sure why you would have a delay. All right, so let's run some of these battles. Let's see. We'll explore. We are going to first just we'll put Morrison in here on the battle report we saw, which was the highest one we ran last week with, it was Diva behind Carly. Was just the most consistent run that we ran. I had run, I think, 150 runs. So, like, high, low, this was the best. So I'm just going to put Carly, Lucius, Diva, and we're putting Morrison in the middle. And, okay. Let's do this. A few of these here. And battle. All right. Let's take a few data points here. How did I get out of it? Battle. All right, let's see what we got going. 1.9. 1.8, 4.2. It's funny because I've been getting a ton of people sending me data reports, and I appreciate you all so much. It's just been constant feedback that I've been looking at, diagnosing, like plugging in, looking at it. But the other thing that I've been getting constant messages on is everybody noticing how the fluctuation of those Skylar stuns and what they're doing, right? Like, it's funny, just everybody seeing it, looking at this the data points, and how crazy it is. Those stuns, what it actually does. It's such an awesome weapon, and it's also incredibly frustrating. Not just for data, but just for like if you're in a fight with somebody, and she's not stunning. And you're like, man, I'm on the battlefield and I'm losing. Somebody in the Alliance sent a report the other day, and they lost. Oh, crap, I just did it again. And they lost a battle. They lost a battle because I think she's done like 3-1 or something. And that was crazy. Vader shared some battle data. It was very similar to that. So we will run this out. This is so good. All right, so we got it. We got our data points. We're good enough for this to see what happens. Okay, so now we're going to put Sarah in here, and I want to see what Sarah does. We'll put Sarah in the middle where Morrison was for now, just to see what happens. And really what I've been noticing from air is like if you want to do good in air, it's all about this number. So if you saw here from the data points that we just ran on the 4 sample battles that we just did, Diva was like 13.6 and 11.8 were the highest we can get her with an average of 10.6 in a battle, right? Everybody else is pretty much equivalent, and Diva's the one that ranges because if there's a stun or the defense holds up, it makes her be able to land more critical hits and more data, which is great. The first one we run with Sarah is instantly 13.9 from Diva. So I'm not even worried about Sarah landing less than Morrison of 2.9 versus Morrison's average was like 4.2. Yeah, okay, I'm losing 2 million here, but don't forget, we're running this battle data right now with no gear on. So when we start adding gear into this, it's just going to amplify everything so much more. So if I amplified Morrison's 4, it's not really that big a deal. It's only going to go to 6 if I do it for Diva. But if I put gear on Diva and I put like radar on Carly and Lucius, then all of a sudden Diva's amplifies her damage that she's doing, and this goes through the roof because Sarah's going to buff it. That would just be my first look at running these tests, because I wanted to run some of this stuff live. I'd set up some Sarah battle reports earlier, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to run. I want to have reaction with you all on what's going to happen with Sarah. So it's really not even these no gear reports. All this was initially going to tell me was it worth it, to even investigate. If I saw it plummet, all the damage, and it just wasn't close, it would be okay, it's not worth it. But if it's similar, I think that there's validity to it, because again, when we put the gear on here, I think that's when it's going to pop way more than it is right now. So this tells me, oh my God, look at this one. Diva, the third one, Diva just exploded with again, that Skylar stun. Now, Sarah's didn't move much, which is okay. They don't move much no matter how many times you run. I'm good with this. I don't need to see any more than this to tell me that this is worth exploring. That's all I really wanted to see. Is it worth exploring Sarah? And yeah. So let's take a look, and let me set this report to make sure I have this data right. And all right. We are going to do this one more time now. 3. Okay. All right, so what we'll do is let's put gear based on last week's tests. The defensive gear was the best. So I'm gonna start with the defensive gear just to see what happens, and we can shortcut right to that data. All right, so what that was Carly ended up with a mythic shield and radar, and Lucius ended up with a mythic shield and radar, and nobody else got gear. That was the only thing we did. We did 4 and we just used it. So now we're going to come back in and we're going to just run those same tests to see with the mythics and the shields if Diva has more time to build, what's going to happen. Look at, oh my God. I know y'all watching that, seeing that. That's just not me. That's not me. Look what's... Now, again, we're going to run a few of these just to look. But, wow. That is crazy. I don't know what it's going to do for more. We'll see when Morrison's test as well, in all fairness. See? But we're going to run just a few tests here. Again. I mean, you're seeing it. You see it just explode with what it was without the gear. And that's just 2 pieces of, or 4 pieces of mythic gear. That's all that is. It's not like the whole team is out and everything else. Just you see what happens to Diva. And that's my point when you look at air and battle reports and you start examining your battle reports with your gear, without your gear. One thing you're going to notice that just pops off the page that's clear as day is in order to make air function best, you want to enhance Diva. So you're either going to enhance Diva through gear or you need to give Diva more time to cook. One or the other. But it's very apparent when you look at the air battle reports when we're breaking it down and we're watching this stuff that you need to let Diva cook. You need to let, that's your bread and butter right there of air. It's not about Morrison and crap. I mean, that's great for Schuler. Like Schuler's, to be honest with you, now hitting, and don't forget, that's because of Sarah's buff would be my guess. But now we look at Schuler's hitting at 11.3. Now, I would never replace Morrison with Schuler, even if Morrison would be a better offensive output. I would never do that because, Schuler, I'm doing it again. Skylar, sorry. I know you guys are gonna yell at me. Skylar, I'm not gonna do Skylar because Skylar has the stun, so stun trumps all. So Morrison can hit the bricks. Like, not gonna happen. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, it got brought up earlier, like, what are you going to do when Morrison gets the exclusive weapon? We'll have to look, but don't forget, that stun is that stun, right? Like, I don't know. We're going to have to test. We're going to do a lot of tests and see where maybe that stun works better with I don't know, like Missile or something. Maybe I can move Skylar off and Diva's jumping so much with Morrison in this buff. I mean, we'll see. But, okay, so we have our numbers. We see what we did. I'm not going to show the data yet because it's going to pop up at the page at year 2. You're going to see it and you're going to go, oh, dang. Okay. So let me just colors blue. I'm going to color this one blue just to separate the data. All right, we're going to run real quick now. Let's just do the same thing. Instead, we're going to plug Morrison in so we have our second test here. Again, same thing, apples to apples, same teams, and Carly and Lucius have Shield and Radar. So let's see what it does here for the damage. Look at that damage. You guys are seeing it, man. Look at the damage. This is crazy. I mean, Sarah, without a doubt, I'm not even done running these validation reports for everything. I have no gorilla in here, so this is, to me, this would be valid. I understand you don't have exclusive weapons, and your numbers are going to fluctuate for you newer people that are coming in on the earlier servers. Okay, but listen, I removed the gorilla on purpose, so this data you can use it as well. This is your numbers will fluctuate because you don't have exclusive weapons and you don't have some of this stuff, so it may not pop as much, but you see the difference of it. Like, if you plug Sarah, and I'm already going to say, if you're plugging Sarah in your lineup, this is why everybody's doing it. It's clear as day. I mean, it's not only Diva. Like, we can talk about Diva, but everybody's numbers are popping higher. Carly's numbers are popping higher. Lucia's popping higher. Skylar's numbers, like popped, doubled that. So, granted, Morrison is you're going to see you're about, what is that, like a 7 million loss here, which you can put here. And let's say that's 28. It's still not going to come close when we look at the data to do the difference. Okay, so let's just run a couple more, and I'll show you all the data I have so we can just take a look at it. And know that I have a plethora of tests that I still need to run. I will look at the formation videos to see. I didn't even look at Sarah. I took a guess where the best spot for Sarah is. Sarah might be even better over on the right, the back right. I don't know. And in this one, I don't have Diva. I didn't try Diva geared out and use her in the front. So I have tons more testing to do and looking at where the best formation even is. So I might be able to pop these even more. But consistent. That one was consistent. Let's see, we got a consistent one here. Yep, pretty consistent. A little bit higher on this. I'm guessing this is probably a best case scenario report with a bunch of Skylar bumps because this is as high as it's going to get. It's still not as good as Sarah. And I have, like, Morrison, I have maxed out for skills. So now all of a sudden, this is bringing into question what I said earlier, which was, well, I don't really care that much to try this out with Sarah's skills maxed, but Morrison doesn't have an exclusive weapon. Sarah doesn't have an exclusive weapon. Clearly there'll be a bump when I up Sarah's skill, which is like her attack skill. I don't know what kind of impact that is, but right before I show you the results, let me just now go back and look at that so you can see it. When we look at the data, we're comparing Morrison here, who is sitting with 180 attack, but I also have all the skills maxed for Morrison. When we come and look at Sarah's skill, what I have is, I maxed here. Attributes is 173, so a little bit behind him. And then when you come and look at the skills, I still have this at 20, which is the attacks went into physical damage equal to 234%. This can clearly go higher. I have 10 more levels to go on this. So That's what I talk about. So let's look at what we got. What do we got for data? What do we got for data, everybody? I'm going to just make this clear. I'll black this out so we don't need to look at this right now. So here we are. So we ran, these were our first sets with Morrison and no gear. We got an average attack of 21 with no gear. Then we put Sarah in, and we got an average attack of 24. So it went up by 3, which told us, okay, there's validity to run it. Then we put the gear on. This is, let me just move this. Oops. I just want to be clear on this, so anybody who tunes in looks at this, right? So we have Carly and Lucius with Mythic, Radar, and Shield. Okay. The rest of it is apples to apples. Okay, so there we go. And what do we get? The initial jump with Morrison, we see, granted, 45. Right? So that's awesome. Look, we doubled it just from doing that, the equipment. I'll show you how powerful it is. But, that's 45 average right here. Okay? Look at what we did with Sarah. 56.5 without skills maxed. I mean, come on, folks. That's impressive right there. That's impressive. You got a lot more gear to put on there. We could, we could experiment this thing to the max. Where imagine if I then put a gun and a chip on Diva. Imagine what would happen. You see what happened to Diva's numbers right here, right? Like all in the consistently in the 30s. Imagine if I get, you know what? Listen, guys. I'm going to run one more test this evening. I'm going to hold you up, but we have to see now what it would look like for fun if we gave Diva the gun and we gave Diva the chip. And we used 6 piece of mythics out of 20 just for fun. Let's see what it would look like. Come on and humor me. This is good stuff. All right, let me put this over here. And let me undo this real quick. And I will run just a few of them just to see, but it'll be crazy. All right, here we go. Oh, no, wait. Let me put Sarah in here. I'm not going to run the regression testing on this one. I mean, it's like we know that run them at some point. I just want to see this for fun. This is just a last at the end of oh how cool is that? How cool is that? I don't care all you people, you don't find these tests to be valid. Like, that's just fun. Man, that is incredible. Huh? Just freaking incredible, man. So those numbers are nuts. All right, let me go on down because I got to run a couple tests just to see the comparison and show you all what it did. Listen, this isn't crazy. It's not like it doesn't happen. You can build your team however you see fit, and I don't know for a fact that until I run all this stuff that this is necessarily the best build. But I'll tell you what, it's not a bad build. Okay, like this is popping, man. This is absolutely popping. You can see it's consistent too. Like, I mean, that damage is keeping Diva alive. Jeez, man, that's crazy numbers. Crazy numbers. Looking at this. Oh, okay. I mean, I got enough. I'm gonna have to take a look at this and see what we're gonna run here. Just show you just some spreadsheet data going on. But like, let's just look at the figures here. So if we're looking at the average that we ran here, we were at 21 right? And so these three averaged 24. And then we just ran these, which was 45. And then this was 56.5. And 1, 2, and 3. These three, we just added in Diva, Mythic, Chip, and Gun, right? An unrealistic test, but just to kind of have some fun here. And here's your average. I just jumped off the page. 68 we went from. So also just kind of an advertisement of what it looks like with no gear of 21. What gear does as a difference. So 21 total attack average was 21 million. We went from 21 million it would have been 24 million with Sarah to 56.5 with Sarah. No gear to gear. We doubled it with just the shield and the radar. And now 68. I mean, dude, it's just crazy. I don't know, like, listen, is Sarah worth the investment? What investment? The skill points? Because you got Sarah. I hope you UR'd Sarah. Investment to use your experience to get her to 175, because I do have her to 175 in all fairness. But if you test how to lose fewer troops against Golden Zombie Bay. Okay, fair enough. I like it. Dan. I love it. Take the challenge. I love it. Yeah, we can certainly look into that. I like the look. I mean, I certainly freaking fight enough zombies that we can run it. I mean, everybody does, right? Like, I mean, we're out there. We can't get enough of these golden zombies. Well, which zombies, Dan, are you talking about? Are you talking about the small zombies in regards to the ones that are out in the battlefield that are just like the million of them that are laying around? Or are you talking about the big ones that get made, like the 100 and 110, 150, like the real strong ones? Which ones are you referring to that you want to see battle? Like the ones we rally or the ones we fight individually? Let me know on that. But I will gladly do it. The level 1. Okay, the rallies. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So interesting that you bring that up, because we were just having an alliance conversation about rallying those bigger zombies. Because if you notice, they have mixed squads. Like a lot of the zombies have mixed squads. So we were just talking about like what would benefit us using our mixed squad formations against those zombie rallies and how it would do good. So, but I'd love to hear it, man. Hop in, Dan. I hope you're in our Discord, because that's what it's all about, man. Having some conversation. So, listen, guys. There might be accounts out there that have more people subscribe to their account, and there might be Discords that have more people. I don't care. I love all of you in the community, and I'm looking to build this with you and have some testing and have some fun and learn some stuff. I'm not in here. I'm not here to show you I don't want to bring Hulk and just show you Hulk's account. I don't think that's going to help you. I want to do stuff like this that's fun, because I think we just help each other, and I think you're getting value out of it. To me, I know I'm getting value out of it, and we're learning from all together. So, like, hop into that Discord, and some amazing conversations, by the way. Thank you to the community. Amazing conversations for season 1, 2, 3, 4. There might be, like, I'm sure, listen, there's tons of data out there for people who've done the different seasons and stuff like that, but helping people live on real situations that are coming up with the way these seasons are, and getting their experiences and their actual feelings. I'm really, what I think would benefit to everybody, just to talk about that season stuff. I think it would be great to have a seasons correspondent for our community for every season, and I can bring you on. We'll make a video. You could talk to the community. We'll ask questions. We'll spotlight the seasons as they go, And I think it would be fun to kind of just have season correspondence, to answer questions, because there's plenty of people. I know there's a ton of newer accounts into our Discord as well that are going through season 1 and 2 and stuff. So anyway, Dan's got Carly, Lucius, Skylar, Diva, Sarah, and Mushroom, War Fever, Monster Slayer card. Fair enough. Tactic card. So for those newer people, don't have tactic cards, but you do have War Fever. You can get the Mushroom base. That is in the Glittering event, if I'm not mistaken, at the very bottom. Don't know that it's necessarily worth it for you low spenders to worry about, but yeah, if you have the Mushroom base already, you might as well use it, right? Your tank missile is bad. I love it, man. Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, let's talk. Let's definitely. What server are you on, Dan? Yeah. Because that's just great. That's just great info for everybody. I mean, no gorilla. Everybody loves the gold zombies, and no gorilla really lets everybody use it from earlier servers. So I'd be interested to know. Okay, 654. Great. Lose more with the gorilla. Really? Why would you lose more with the gorilla? Absorbs data. Segura says Morrison and Diva hit 39. Switch to Sarah. Diva. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, now you guys got me into this. Now I got to hear this. Hey, Dan, hit me up with that information on Discord. I'd love to get in a conversation with you, by the way, in our battle data testing section. Hit me up. I want to talk about that more. Segi, what are you talking about here? Going to use skill medals on Sarah or not? Yes, 100%. You have my 100. You have the WWC's recommendation, and I will tell you where you start at least, and then I'll come to you, Segi. So just our official recommendation right now, based on the data we ran today, the top right skill. What the heck is that? Tactic? I forget which skill that is. Is it tactic? So your tactic skill, okay, max that baby out. Max it out. It'll help. It's clearly working. It's clearly phenomenal in air. Now we don't know even the best way to use it. All I know is based on the test we ran, just the early jump on looking at, and the fact we already know that there's people above us that are using it, right? That are stronger. The whales and stuff. You see it happening, and they're using it already. They're seeing the benefit, but now we know. We could see the benefit. I'm going to run these tests for you guys with 40 gold gear and only maybe 1 dot and 2 dots and stuff like that to see if we're seeing the same difference. But I would guess you are 100%. Like I don't see how you wouldn't see the improvement. At what point does it topple over? I don't know. We'll run some more tests. But yes, I definitely think it's worth it pouring into the to get her built for your air. Yes. Either way, by the way, when we got a good problem to figure out when we're talking about this for because the other thing I need to look at is now Murphy and Williams. Like I didn't even put. What do you think? Like I use Murphy here, so I didn't even run tests to see what it's like with Murphy and Sarah in there. I don't know who Sarah replaced. Well, you know what we'll do is we'll move DV8 to the front. And maybe we'll use Murphy instead of, I don't know, maybe Carly? Maybe Lucius could maybe move Carly. I don't know. I got to test it out. We got to see. But man, it popped. All right, Segi, let me get back to you. I'm sorry. So Segi, what did you do? Segi, you did Morrison in Diva, hit 39. You switched to Sarah, Diva, and you hit 50. Okay, what 50 what though? Your Diva hit 50 by just she hit 50 by herself? Or you're talking about your entire squad was 39 million damage, then you went to 50 million damage? No, I wouldn't worry. I mean, right now I would just focus on. I didn't look at the other skills to know. We'll run those tests as we go. Right now it's going to take you a while to max out. I would max out her tactic skill. I will max this out. I was going to max this out for World Boss this week because this is for monsters. But now I'm going to max out her gun so that we can run some real world tests if this is if we're seeing the increase in this or not. So I will let you know about her auto attack and if it actually made an enormous difference on the test we just ran tonight or not. Let me max that out first before I recommend it, but definitely the tactic you want to max out. So I don't know if Segi's still on, but I would have liked to know if that is 39 million just for Diva and it hit 50 because that's crazy. And I'd also like to know what gear you have, Segi, because for your account, you're probably on like a low spender, mid spender account at this point because you took over an account, so maybe it's more along the lines of low spender. But I'd love to know if you're seeing the difference. That's awesome. So we'll definitely hit up later. All right. Before I let you all go, I promised any other Q&A questions that you have for me. You're darn right, Vader. Murphy would be good to see, and we will definitely have that. We might run them tomorrow. We'll run some tests live for everybody tomorrow. Let's do some more squad testing. Everybody seems to enjoy it like me. I geek out over this stuff because I just enjoy it. So I won't let poor comments ruin my day. So anybody else have any cues before I let you go? Just a quick opportunity to ask any questions that you have. Give it. Otherwise, I am going to let you know. While I'm waiting for that, got some more giveaways coming up for everybody. By the way, exploding. We're on our way to 1,500 subscribers, and we're almost at 6 weeks. We're not even at 6 weeks yet. Almost at the 1,500 subscriber mark. And me and Ramp we're talking, and we're just going to do some more giveaways. Discord is exploding, and I think in like 4 weeks, 5 weeks over at Discord, we're already over like 200 people over on Discord. So it's just awesome. Thank you for joining and kind of making this game more exciting. And my goal is to make it more exciting for you and more fun and more enjoyable no matter what type of spender you are. So, all right. No questions. No more questions tonight then. That's cool. I will let you all go and enjoy the rest of your evening. Hey, real quick test. Let's see. Hey, Vader, you think I'm still at the top of the... Oh, yeah. Huh? Come on, Vader. Look at that. Huh? Not bad. Not bad. Still at the top of the restricted area training. I like it. I'll take it. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. I will put up live again tomorrow. Hopefully we are more consistent and we don't get a blip on our plans. But thank you all for joining. Appreciate you to death. QB18 out.